vice. CORD is accusing the ruling Jubilee coalition of seeking to rig in favor of Musikari Kombo. We'll cross over now to our senior associate editor, Alex Chamwada, who is in Bungoma. Good afternoon, Alex. What can you tell us about the situation on the ground in Bungoma? Chamwada, if you can hear me, we're just wanting to get an update from you on the situation, of course, in Bungoma ahead of the by-elections tomorrow.
Electoral Commission here in terms of preparations. This is when they have to make sure everything is in place in terms of logistics. In the background, as you can see, they are preparing the election materials. We were informed that the materials were distributed yesterday to all the headquarters of the constituencies. And today they are preparing to start dispatching the materials to the various polling centers. Here in Bungoma County, there are about 900 streams, so these materials will be distributed overnight in order for the exercise to begin tomorrow morning. And earlier, before I came onto the set, we had attended a press conference where the CORD team that is supporting Ford Kenya's candidate Musikari Kombo, Ford Kenya's candidate Moses Wetangula, is claiming that there is a plot to rig the election in favor of Kombo, but the IEBC has denied those claims, saying there is nothing like that, and if there is any evidence, that evidence should be brought forward. In terms of those claims, there have been accusations and counter-accusations from both sides, including the Kombo team, which is also accusing the team of Moses Wetangula of planning to bribe voters, planning to even intimidate voters, but both sides have been denying those claims. So it's accusations and counter-accusations from both sides. Earlier on, I spoke to the county returning officer of Bungoma County, Ben Misati, who had this to tell me. A brief overview of your preparations so far. I mean, it's just hours to the by-election now.
We are on the last day of preparation. Today is 18th, and our people are now being dispatched to the ground, our polling officials. At every constituency tallying center, right away now, the activity that is going on is the dispatch of ballot papers which arrived here yesterday. We dispatched it to every constituency tallying center, and our poll officials are meeting there for a brief with the security team so that they can be dispatched to the centers. We expect today, latest 5, our officers should be on the ground in every polling station. We have 941 polling centers. So we are prepared. We want them to leave early so that when the rains come, they find them having arrived at the polling centers.
And talking about rains, in Mount Elgon, it's quite a big problem. Many roads are impassable. This could be quite a big challenge. How are you planning to tackle this?
It's quite a challenge. We have been in discussion, and we have done quite some mapping at Mount Elgon. We are aware there are places when it rains they are impassable. We are also aware of places where even if it did not rain, it is rocky. So we have even hired tractors to pass us over the difficult places. We have also hired the 4-wheel drive vehicles. And at Mount Elgon, they will start off for their stations latest known so that we get information that they have arrived safely in the evening. I know we'll have a challenge when they are coming back, but we'll ask the people of Bungoma to be patient if we delay a bit than we have done before. The terrain is a bit a challenge in Mount Elgon, but we'll mitigate on that.
Then there are claims of bribery. Voters were being bribed throughout last night, and they are also accusing the IEBC that it's not taking action against that vice, yet it's the very vice that led to this by-election. We've had accusations and counter-accusations, especially between the team of Moses Wetangula and the team of Musikari Kombo. Is this true? And if it's true, what is IEBC doing about it?
Bribery of voters is a very serious electoral offense, and there are claims of bribery, counter-claims. And our people are on the ground. Where we have been informed the bribery is going on, we have sent our people there to verify, take a video coverage of what is happening, and thereafter we'll take action. And I want to warn anybody who is doing any bribery that we may not deal with you now, but you have committed a crime during the electoral period. We shall have to catch up with you thereafter. So nobody should deprive voters, because that's a very serious crime under the Elections Act. So our people on the ground.
Have you caught anyone doing so?
No, many of the claims coming are not substantiated. We haven't as yet caught anybody. And if they are being done in darkness, then we may not be able to tell. But we are asking the citizenry of Bungoma to come up and give evidence, and then we'll take action.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now, Michelle, regarding those claims, I spoke to Commissioner Yusuf Nzibo. He told me they will be vigilant about that. And remember, there are 6 commissioners here from the IEBC led by the Vice Chair, and they are saying, first of all, it is also the duty of the parties and their agents to be vigilant and to make sure that they are monitoring what is happening, that, well, it may not be easy to verify those claims of bribery and claims of plans to rig, but again, the parties must have their agents in place and make sure that they are able to monitor what is happening. The situation, the problem, he said, is that some parties may not have agents in all the polling stations and polling centers. And he touched about the logistics and the problem they may have in Mount Elgon. Let me just show you the terrain in Bungoma County. This is the map of Bungoma County. So where we are now, Michelle, is here. This is in Kandui constituency. Bungoma town, where I'm broadcasting from, is in Kandui constituency down here, and Mount Elgon is up there. So this is where roads are impassable. It's been raining heavily, and this is the area that they may have to work harder in terms of making sure that materials reach to the polling stations in time. So we will keep you updated. For now, I take you back to the studio.
Right, thank you very much. That's Alex Tremada reporting from Bungoma ahead of the by-election slated for tomorrow. On with other stories, and 11 people have perished in 2 separate road accidents in Meru and Homa Bay counties. 5 people, who include an 8-year-old child, were killed last night at the Mara Bridge along the Meru-Nairobi highway, while the second incident, where 6 people who were traveling in a lorry perished when it overturned along the Kadogo-Mawego Road in Oyugis.
Onlookers mill around an accident scene after learning that 6 people had been killed in yet another grisly road accident. This is along the Kadongo-Mawego Road early morning in Oyugis. Witnesses say the lorry ferrying sand went out of control and overturned, burying the victims in the sand. Most of the dead were women who had hiked a lift in the lorry. 4 of the women were rescued. The bodies of those who died were taken to Oyugis Matara mortuary. In the Meru incident, those who died included an 8-year-old child. The incident involved a 10-seater matatu which hit an oncoming lorry before rolling several times at the Mara Bridge. Confirming the incident, Tharaka-Nithi OCPD Johnson Ipara said the 5 died on the spot. The police boss warned motorists to be extra vigilant during this festive season.
Letu hapa ni kuomba watu wote wanaotumia barabara, hasa madrivers wote, au wa baiskeli au wa pikipiki au matatu au lori, wawe na heshima na barabara na watu wale wengine wanatumia barabara.
Cesarin Wangare, Citizen at 1.
Now, preparations for the Bacho parliamentary by-elections are complete, and it's all set for the vote tomorrow. 7 candidates will be squaring it out, and Francis Gashuri now joins us live with the details. Good afternoon, Francis. Can you give us an overview to start off with who the candidates are and discuss what the preparations and procedures that the IEBC are putting in place ahead of tomorrow's by-elections?
Thank you very much, and a good afternoon to you, Michelle, and to all our viewers. Indeed, We are coming to you live from Magena Secondary School in Bacho constituency, and tomorrow is the D-Day for the 38,735 registered voters in this constituency as they go back to the polls tomorrow to pick their representative in the National Assembly or in the August House, if you may like it. And of course, this by-election occasioned by a successful petition filed by Albert Nyaudi of Ford People, who challenged the election of Joel Onyancha of TNA, and the High Court ruled that there were irregularities in the March 4th polls in this constituency, and hence directed that a by-election be held so that the people of Bacho constituency can go back to the polls and get another opportunity to elect their member in the August House. And preparations indeed are completed, and as you can see here, this will be the main tallying center, the constituency tallying center, if you may like. And this is where polling officers from who will be operating in the 80 polling stations will be picking their materials, the polling materials, and move to their respective polling stations and spend the night there. And tomorrow at 6 a.m. The polling stations will be open so that the people of this constituency can come and cast their ballot. And so, who will be the men vying it or squaring it out for this by-election? Joel Onyancha of TNA, Peter Kimori of ODM, Albert Nyaudi of Ford People, Nicodemus Musingi of NAC Kenya, Josiah Maaga of UDF, Christopher Siembe of Kenya National Congress, and Samson Mbeche of PPK. Those are the 7 candidates who will be vying for these constituency seat. And what you can see here, Michelle, is the ballot boxes, the ballot papers, the voters register, and of course the lanterns that will be used in those polling stations. And the polling officers are already here, and they will be given their materials by the returning officers. And here is the returning officer, Mr. Gilbert Serem. Karibu sana. Are you set for tomorrow's contest?
As you can see, we are set for tomorrow's contest. All plans have gone well, and come tomorrow, we will be able to conduct these elections.
We can see still preparations are going on, packing the ballot boxes together with the other electoral materials. When are we likely to see the polling officers moving from this tallying center to their respective polling stations?
Yeah, I expect the presiding officers or the poll officials to start leaving this tallying center as from 2. And the exercise will go through to around 4, where we expect all the poll officials to have left the tallying center for the polling stations. Yes.
Security remains a very key issue in this kind of situations. How well have you prepared in conjunction with the police service in terms of preparing for these by-elections?
I think the security is well in place. We are having 2 security officers in every polling station. We will also be having the rapid response unit that will be going around the constituency. So I must say that the security is well, and voters should not fear. They should wake up in the morning and go to their polling stations to elect their preferred candidate.
And of course, the question of many people may not be aware of what they will be carrying or what they require so that they can be able to participate in tomorrow's by-election. What do they require?
Yeah, as expected, we expect the voters to come with their national ID card or the passport, depending on what they use when they registered as a voter. So we expect them to come with what they used during the registration process to facilitate their voting.
And if you don't have an original ID, for example, can you use a photocopy?
The law is very clear. We will require an original document, either the passport or the ID, and you must present yourself in person. Yes.
Very well. And the campaign period is over, but you may, in one way or another, find electoral irregularities here and there. Maybe the candidates trying to do what we may call a last-ditch effort to get a few votes. Is this allowed? Are you maybe monitoring the situation to ensure that nobody contravenes the procedures?
Yes, we are monitoring, and again, this is a bit tricky, but we always remind candidates that they sign a code of conduct with the IEBC, and they also know the consequences of that. But so far, I must say that I have not received any official complaint, either verbally or in written form. However, we always keep reminding them of the electoral code of conduct.
Lastly, tomorrow, every by-election we see situations where there are reported incidences of maybe voter bribery, voter intimidation of sort. What are you doing to ensure that this will be dealt with?
First, we've advised the voters that as soon as they vote, they should leave the polling station, probably go to their homes and wait for the results to be announced at the tallying center. But all the same, mechanisms are there, the security are watching, and we are urging the voters to keep peace. Please vote and go to your homes as you wait for the results in the evening.
Very well. Asante sana, Mr. Gilbert. Indeed, Michelle, that's all for now. And remember, this will be the tallying center. So as the returning officer says, Mr. Gilbert Serem, people are expected to come, vote, and go back to either home or their respective places of work to get busy. And we'll keep our viewers updated on how the poll will unfold. And remember, the electronic voter registration, after the voters were registered electronically in the March for the March 4th polls, that voter register is exactly what will be used in the by-election tomorrow. So they only require an original ID. They don't require to come with the voter registration document that was issued, the acknowledgement slip that they had registered as voters, because once they come to the polling station, the electronic voter identification devices will be there to see whether they are indeed registered. And that's why the returning officer is insisting that voters can only be allowed to participate in the poll if they come in person and with original documents. And after that, the results will begin streaming at about 6:30. Remember, polling opens at 6 a.m. and closes at 5 p.m. And shortly afterwards, the polling stations will be converted into counting stations, and the results will be relayed here electronically. So I understand on my right they're going to mount big screens where they are going to show the results as they trickle in from the 80 polling stations. And so by around 8 p.m., we should be able to know who will be the representative of the people of Bacho constituency in the National Assembly. Back to you, Michelle, but be sure to join us for more details in our subsequent bulletins. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Francis Kashuri, reporting live from Bacho. We will, of course, be following the proceedings tomorrow live as they unfold. It is D-Day in Bacho for the by-election, so we will be following that. Now, on with other stories, and at least 20,000 people have taken